Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent with Listings to Leads. How are you? Please let me know if you can hear me. There's a little comments panel on the interface here. Let me know if you can hear me and see my screen, please. We'll give it just a couple minutes for people to log in. And let me know if you can hear. Okay, you can hear me. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. So let me ask, are you clients now? Or are you just learning about us? If you are a new client, please let me know in the chat panel how long you've been with us and also how you found us. We're always trying to improve our marketing for listings to leads. So it's always good to know what's working. This is our Get Started class. I'm just going to stall for another minute or two here. We'll talk about how to set up your account. We'll talk about some of the top things that you should be doing, which are actually working really well for our clients all over the country right now. And then we'll talk about some of the other highlights of the platform. Okay. Albert from MVP, long-term office client. And Justin, you're with us for a day. How did you find us? Welcome. And John from North Connecticut. Yeah, cool. Let's see here. Let's get the show on the road. Again, I see people logging in, but welcome. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and this is our Get Started call. So this one is designed obviously for new clients, but also our long-term clients like to come in and get a refresh. We are adding new technology at least once a month. And we also see things happening in the market. And so it's good to check in with us, see what's working. Sometimes it's using some of the older systems to, oh, I don't like this look here. Give me a second. It looks like I'm huge and my screen is not so huge. That's a little bit better. You don't need my big head in there. Welcome, Sonia. Not so new, but still, that's right. Coming back to check in. Let's log in. Actually, before we log in, I always like to go down here so we can look. If you scroll down, you'll see what we do right here summed up, right? On the left-hand side, there's the marketing kind of system. On the right-hand side, there's conversion and tools to keep and engage those listings and turn it into transactions. On the left, easy Facebook ads, easy Google ads. We have what we call marketing funnels, which is actually landing pages and PDF guides. These are associated to your listings and all the PDF guides that are created for you. There's 80 for you. There are a handful of landing pages that are created for you. I am going to show you all these things, but all these have ways of capturing leads. We also create single property websites and virtual tours. We put the virtual tour on YouTube for you automatically. We have a bunch of free social media content. Your listings, we auto post to social media. Some of your landing pages, we auto post to you for social media. And then we just have content it's great if you know that social media exists and that you need to pay attention to it, but you really don't want to spend a lot of time managing that. We've really got a great solution there that's awesome for SEO and awesome to help you build your network. And we also have print tools, and you may or may not know this. Obviously, we focus on digital marketing. We're online. We have things for your email. We have things for social media. But some of the print tools actually have the most effective seller leads. So if you're in the market trying to find more listings, being aware of our print tools and the way that we can help you leverage them, it's key. It's key. It's very important. We have a great marketing calendar. We have call to actions everywhere. And that's the thing that there have been a lot of companies over the years in the market. They arrive, they collapse. A lot of companies, including the ones you work with, can create automated marketing tools for you, usually with your brand, usually with your headshot and your phone number. The trouble is there's no call to actions. And that's it's harder to build call to actions and to have them relevant multiple times. We've been doing this for 16 years, and that's all we focus on is if you're going to be taking an action, it could be sending an email, it could be sharing some info, it could be talking to a buyer or a homeowner. We want to make sure you have call to action so you can actually capture more contact information. If you need business to grow, it means you need to talk to more people. You cannot start talking to more people if you don't have contact information, which we call leads. And the last thing on the list on the left there, we have free ways of getting leads and we have paid ways of getting leads. Usually the paid ways get you a larger volume of leads, especially with name email. Over on the right, We have great drip campaigns, actually have high open rates. And we just had somebody in the mastermind group say they've been testing it against a number of other CRMs. We have we get in the inbox, we have a high open rate. And because we embed our landing pages and PDF guide, we're actually giving more value to these leads and you're able to close them. It's actually closing appointments, which is what a drip campaign should do. And then lastly, if you look in the middle, it says AI automated text follow-up. This is an add-on. It is very powerful add-on. It's converting 11% of our leads to phone calls. So I don't know how long you've been realtors. I don't know if you've ever gotten leads before. Sometimes people buy leads from Zillow or Realtor.com or any of the other great companies, and they're spending hundreds of dollars for maybe a dozen leads. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. That is a challenge, right? And so here, listings to leads is much more of a low cost lead cost, right? It is a little more, you should be involved. It's not like throwing your credit card in and just walk away and wait for your world to change. There's a lot of tools here and a lot of them will get you a lot more leads. But it doesn't matter what company you're finding leads through. If you don't convert them, and if you don't have a good way of converting leads into a phone call, what's the point of generating leads, right? Our AI text follow-up is converting 11% of our leads that have phone numbers to phone calls. We give you the whole description, the conversation that I was having, and then you can make the call and book it. So now I'm logged into listings to leads. And before we go any further, let's talk about how you actually set up your account. And when you log in the first time, this little window is going to pop up and it's going to say, put your headshot in there. Hello, Stacy from South Carolina. So it's going to say, put your picture in there. And you'll see if there's not a red asterisk, it means it's not really required. So some of you need a license, what state you're licensed. Some of you need your license number. Others don't. So just put what you need and then move to the next page. Then put your logo in. If you're with a team account, and I set up the team and broker accounts around the country, we usually load this for you already in your color scheme. We do have the color palettes from many of the top franchises in the country, but you can also create your own custom one. Maybe you're with a boutique shop and you have your own color scheme. You just put that right there. Again, if you need to have any of these fields filled out, fill them in. If not, just save and go to the next. And then here's where it gets, I think, a lot more interesting. This is where you're connecting to your social media accounts. And so you want to do your setup ideally where you have all your IDs and passwords saved, because that's going to save you a lot of time. This allows us to auto post your listings to your social media accounts. Okay. When we create a virtual tour, we're actually going to put it up on our YouTube channel by default. But if you have your own YouTube channel, you can connect that too, and we'll put it there. Many of you may not know this, but if you're using Gmail, you already have a YouTube channel. You may have never dusted it off. You may have never branded it, put your photo there, but you can. And that way with us, you're able to say, hey, I actually take you when I'm listing with you or you're listing with me, I'm going to put a virtual tour on my own private personal YouTube channel. So just a lot here. We'll be adding some other social media platforms in the next couple months, but for now, this is what we have here. Really useful. Now here, we're going to ask you to connect to social media again, right? But we're just connecting to the Facebook ad platform. So when you're running ads through our platform, I highly recommend you never go inside Facebook and run an ad again, because there's a lot of buttons, a lot of ways to make mistakes, and a lot of ways to waste your money. In our system, there's just a couple buttons to click, and we've clicked all the things in the background so that you don't have to think about it. So you connect there, that's going to connect your business page. And then we ask you to connect again. And I think this often confuses agents because you're thinking, I just did this. Why am I doing it again? But there's actually 3 separate software pieces that we have from these companies. And this allows us to put content. And there's a lot of home design stuff here, kitchen, kids' rooms, storage. If you click the eyeball, you'll see dozens of articles. They're all colorful and they're all conversational. That's what's needed for social media, not big, heavy industry reads that I see these companies like and post. But you can also put in some quotes, success quotes or inspiration, some outdoor living stuff, some home maintenance stuff. And then somewhere down here, you got holidays, are some memes, and then the PDF guide. So I mentioned the PDF guides before, but each of you have 80 PDF guides, 40 in English, sorry, 40 for buyers and 40 for sellers. And then again, they're translated into Spanish as well. Most of you just need the English ones. Make sure they're checked. I think by default, you just make sure it's highlighted there. And then choose how many days you want us to post. Some people have it 7 days a week, your choice. But what I want to tell you is when you're connecting Google My Business here, this constant refresh of content is taking your Google My Business page to page 1 on local real estate searches. So if somebody types in, how do I sell my home in Greenville? And if Stacy had all this turned on, her Google My Business kind of storefront would just pop up on page 1 for free. It's not even a paid ad. It's that this content is being ranked by Google so that your Google My Business pages are migrating to page 1. This does not happen in one day or in 1 week. It usually takes a few months, but that is a really great, valuable benefit there. Yes, where to get the page you're on. This section, yeah, John's asking a good question. He's already gone through the wizard, but he needs to set this up. So we'll go look at these things real quickly once we're finished on this. Here is where you drop in your email, and this may not be your daily working email. You might be John at Coldwell Banker, right? But you set up your MLS years ago, and you might be John at AOL.com or Yahoo or something like that. We need to see the email address that you're using inside your MLS so that we can sweep your listings in automatic. If you don't have your own listings and you want to borrow one, you will see something that says grab a listing. Then you can drop a zip code and MLS ID, select if it's yours or not, so we don't make all the tools. But that will pull in listings. A lot of agents like to do this when they want to market in a farm market that they don't have listings. And a lot of agents like to do this when they're going to sit at an open house for another agent, pull in the listing, get all kinds of marketing tools so you can generate your own leads, both buyer and seller leads from the open house. And then it's choose your CRM. We have APIs from many of the top CRMs. We have our own drip campaign in email, which I highly recommend. If you're using one of these CRMs, and there's a lot of great ones, but there are many out there that people can't even figure out how to turn on, right? They're complicated in their own world. So if you're one of those people who's paying for a CRM and you don't have drip campaigns turned on, just ignore this and turn ours on, okay? Let's go to the next one. And then here we can import reviews, right? If you have reviews on Zillow, on Google, on Testimonial Tree, I think we'll even be able to import Facebook reviews coming on real soon. Once you've done that, we're going to sweep those into the account and we're going to embed them wherever they're useful. So that's the setup wizard. But John had a good question that I want to answer. And that is, how do you find that if you are already in the account and you didn't quite set that up? Usually on the dashboard over here, when we log in, there is a section, but even I've been in this forever. So the setup wizard, I can't even find. So let's go down, and what we were talking about for that section, I'm just going to click on profile real quick. I'm going to move quickly here because this is how you set up your account if you've been in for a while, right? So your appearance is here. All right. And that means your logo's here. All these things are here. Templates are here. Auto posting for social media for your listings and landing pages are here. So you're connecting your socials here, and you can tell us free home value page. We're going to post down payment assistance. CRM integration is here. So just like we saw in the wizard, you connect here. I will point out that you might have a CRM that is not on this list, right? Because these are the big ones. But if you have a CRM that's not on this list, they should have what we call a lead forwarding email address, or sometimes they call it an email parser. And what that means is they have a unique, usually strange looking email address for you that when you put it in this box, it will say, Any lead that goes there, scrape all the data and drop it into the CRM for automation, right? So if you don't see your CRM here, you can add one here, and it's going to be this email. It's usually not your daily working email, okay? Because every email that you got would go there and they'd be dropping that into your CRM, and that's not what you want. So it's usually your unique email set up by like Follow Up Boss used to have that. So it'd be your name with like 20 different digits on it, and then at Follow Up Boss, so nobody could find that. Okay. Oh, but the one section that we were looking at is social content. Okay. And that's where John was saying, oh, where do I find it? When you click that here, you'll drop on this page, which is connect your socials, right? And then you tell us how many days a week, and then you choose your topics, right? And you got them all here. And you can go through, like I said, and click the eyeball and look at all this topic. Most people don't, but you might want to look at those. Sometimes they're maybe not relevant in your market, things like that. And speaking of relevant in the market, there's a landing page here. And as I mentioned earlier, we create a lot of landing pages. But you see this one here? This is called Free Home Values, and this is in everybody's account, okay? And we actually integrate this in our single property websites, in our virtual tours, in our client reviews page, in your nearby homeowner letter. And I'll be showing you what that is in a minute. But if that does not look like your market, maybe you're in Arizona, maybe you're in Maine, or maybe you're out there in the woods north of Seattle. If this does not look like your areas, it's not going to be that effective for you. So it's always wise to click the pencil here. Pencil means edit in our system. And you can change the background image so that it looks something a little more like your area. A lot of clients on the coast, right? Myrtle Beach, all around Florida, all around Louisiana. Wherever there's a coast, you might want something that kind of reflects that, not this. So if this works for you, great. If you want to change it, it says upload image here, get a picture 1500 pixels wide. That should work for you. Okay. Let's see if there are any other. So that's the setup. That's a setup, right? That's everything there. If there are any questions about setup, please let me know right now. And, oh, John, you're with Lake Norman, a long-term broker client. I'm going to click on marketing calendar up here. And this is really useful if you're an agent who just doesn't have a whole lot of business going on. Every day has one action. Mondays are usually market a listing to get buyer leads. Tuesdays are to market later stage listings to get seller leads. And Wednesdays are to market PDF guides, and we rotate seller, buyer, seller. And then over here, we're handling kind of landing pages and niche marketing. A lot of these would be awesome for your business, right? Some of them maybe you don't want to focus on. But if you have downtime and you're trying to grow your business, it makes a lot of sense to click on any day that you're on. The checklist to do this action is here. Deep step-by-step instructions are here. And where you actually market, it's right here. You might have a few properties that you want to focus on. You can click market, and that would get you to the area where you can do the work. Okay. So the calendar's there, very useful. I know our office clients use this a lot because some agents are really busy and others are not. So this gives you a daily task. But the reason I am here on the marketing calendar is I want you to see this resources tab, because I talk pretty quickly, so does Scott, but we do training 5 days a week, and you should learn how to use our platform. Okay. We have live webinars that you can sign up for right down here. Every class, including this one, is recorded, and you can actually go to our YouTube channel right here, and that will bring you to this page. And I definitely recommend to all of our clients to spend time on our YouTube channel. We have lots of clients who have incredible stories from doubling and tripling their business. It's not happening in 1 or 2 weeks. But we have clients who have gone from rookie to having their own office with 24 agents, and they've learned to leverage this early on. This page here, videos, almost every class is recorded and right here. Live, this is where we do our live classes, which this is a live class. So this will be here. The classes will be on either of these 2 pages. There's even the shorts tab, which is great. They're 1-minute videos. And if you want to get like a really a nugget, you don't want to listen to a 1 hour class, check out some of these videos because we get a lot of feedback from our clients. We know it's working every day for our client. Now, back on the marketing calendar, we have a Facebook mastermind group. And so, marketing calendar resources mastermind group. This is a private group on Facebook. When you log here the first time, you will see a button over here that says join group and answer a couple questions, and we'll put that there. We'll get you in here. This is where Scott and I talk about what's going on. It's also where our clients are talking about what they're doing. And sometimes they have questions, and sometimes they're just like, whoa, I just got some great results. So in order to learn, it's often easier to learn from other agents, right? They're saying, hey, this is what I did and this is how it worked. And so you can get a lot of information there. So that's all in the resource page. And once you've set up and once you have gone through, you've gone connected to our resources and you're subscribed, now it's time to get to work, right? And so from that point on, whenever you log in, you land on the dashboard and there's kind of two questions that you can ask yourself. Do I need buyers? Because there's a buyer tab. Or do I need sellers? Because there's seller tab, right? And I'm going to click on buyers because in the past, like I said, we've been doing it for 16 years. I talk to a lot of people and often I would hear, I don't need buyers. I just want listings. And that's great. But with high interest rates, that story has changed a little bit. People need buyers. The homes are sitting longer. You know that, right? You're experiencing that. And obviously you price it right, something can fly off the shelf, right? So the number one thing to do to get a buyer, to find buyer leads is actually running an ad on Facebook. And I'm going to show you that in a moment. But before we get into the nuts and bolts, I want to hit timeout and pause to tell you the things that you need to really focus on. And the reason why I say this is because we do get constant feedback from our clients and we do a lot of training with our clients. So you're hearing from our clients what's working. It's on the YouTube channel. There are three things that you need to be highly aware of that are working in today's market. One is right here. It's a listing presentation. Okay. It's on this dashboard. It's also over on the listing. This is a generic one that's ready for all of you right off the bat. You can download it. We even have it in Flipbook, which is really compelling. It's like an online magazine, but you can actually create a custom one of these in the listings for a particular listing. And I want to say for 2 months, every agent that I have been talking to, if I ask them, do you have a listing presentation coming up? And they say, yes, I say, go create a custom one for that home. And in every instance, they have all won the listing presentation. They won the listing, right? Now, I'm going to show you, we actually had a call, I think on Friday with this young lady, Tamara. Now she has a small team account, right? She has like a small brokerage in Florida. And she came right here just early last month or mid last month, said, hey, I went out, I was talking to Vince. I went and this is the listing presentation for this homeowner's home. If you go look in the comments, she comes back a couple days later and says, hey, I won all three of my listing presentations. So I don't know where the comment is, but she had 3 different appointments, did that for each home and basically closed every one of those. So that's an important tool. And actually we have clients who are using them with expireds. We're having clients using them with FSBOs. And we actually had another client who reached out to somebody who had canceled their listing. Like it was a live listing. I don't know what was happening, but the homeowner canceled it. And so one of our clients called them and said, hey, and it was this gorgeous home in Florida. He's like, hey, I see you canceled, what's going on? And the homeowner said, yeah, this agent from Sotheby's just wasn't doing anything. Just nothing was happening. And I canceled it. So he called and said, hey, I have a really great marketing system. I'd love to speak with you. Can I come and see you for a little bit? And he brings this listing presentation and close not only that listing, but a second listing. It's powerful. So I want you to know about that. The other thing that is powerful is our Facebook ads. We have clients who are running 2 to 3 Facebook ads every week, for some for like $50 per ad, some $75. You're going to see in just a moment that our ads, our Facebook ads, capture name, email, and phone number. And if you need to talk to more people for more business, this would be the first place we tell you. If you're sitting on a home that needs to get sold and it's getting too long, this would be the first place we point to. So let's create an ad. And we click create listing. Right now, you have open house. Well, let's just do something that's for sale. Lead ads is really the important piece. If you see an option, always make sure you're going on lead ads. I'll show you why in just a moment. When you click create ad, this is where we have Facebook's ad software embedded here. Okay. So you know how in Facebook, if you run an ad, there's probably like, I don't know, 10 to 15 things you got to check. Here, you just choose the property and you can click this button and you've created a successful ad. Okay. That's kind of it. You can customize this. You can go over here. You can customize it. You can change this template if you don't want that. You can go over here. And I'm not going to go down all this too far because I do a class called Facebook and Google Ads, and we go down deep in this. But what you need to really understand, I'm going to click this button right here called Advanced Options, not because you should, but because I want you to understand what goes on. When somebody clicks an ad, they see it in the newsfeed. Okay. So on Facebook, like there's just the center where everybody's scrolling through their phone, and it's where you see what people are doing and what your friends are doing, what they're eating and their kids and all that, right? When they click on an ad, they will see this form pop up and say, would you like that information? And their full name and email and phone number is already populated automatically from their profile. This is really key. The internet was launched for people like us in the mid-90s. And there are now today so many scams online, on your phone, in the Facebook Messenger. There's scams everywhere. And so in every one of your accounts, there are more than 200 tools that capture leads. Many of them, people have to type their information in, right? Like by hand right here. You would have to type your information on this page. People don't want to do that because there's so many scams now. But when you give them an ad on Facebook and their stuff is sitting right there, they're like, yes, I want that information. And the answer is yes, submit my info. So sometimes when you're buying leads from a company, the person doesn't actually know they gave you their contact information. Somehow the web interface grabbed it. Ours, they are looking at it and they're saying, yes, submit my info. Okay. That's why these ads, they're not typing in this information. You need to have your correct email and phone number, because if you get locked out of your account, they're going to text you or they're going to email you. And that's why the contact information is very accurate. Now, one more thing about this. When you capture a lead, and if they're on a do not call list, when they approve this, they are allowing you to call them. Okay. So you're okay in that regard. You don't have to go looking at this in the future. I just want you to know that's the power behind this thing. But I also want to speak one more thing, because as you're getting a name, email, and phone number, you're probably thinking, I got to call those people right away. But you remember what I was saying about scams? Nobody, like my phone, when somebody, it literally will say this is a suspected telemarketer or scam, right? So I don't answer those calls, right? And even if somebody answers your phone call and they don't know you and they just clicked that button and they gave you their information, they're more likely going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. That was somebody else, or that was a mistake. They just don't want to talk to you. Why? Because they don't know you. That's why you need to be texting your leads the first few times. Like, hey, I saw that home in Orlando. Is that the market for you? Do you live here? Are you moving there? One question, right? They answered, they don't answer, doesn't matter. Another question. Hey, that's a 3-2. Is that what you're looking for? Ask them simple questions. Don't write a big paragraph and drop them on a text, because me personally, I delete every large text I get. It's got to be short. And that's how people respond. As I mentioned over here on leads, you can turn on our AI text follow-up, and it's going to ask very simple questions like the ones I'm describing. And it's converting 11% of these leads to a phone call. So whether you do it or we do it, you want to be texting your leads. Text them a few times. Usually after a while, they don't want to text anymore and they just want to call. I have a question here from Gene. How do we edit that listing presentation? And let me show you that right here. So on the listings, what you're doing is you're not editing the listing presentation. You're creating a new one for that particular home. Okay. And I have one right here. You see, it says that, like, here are all my listings, but this one over here says it's a listing presentation. And that's because that's what it is. So to create that, you come up here, you click on manually add a listing. And when you add a listing manually, you can add it at all different kinds of status. Like maybe it's sold, maybe it's open house, maybe it's just listed, or in this case, it's listing presentation. And then you put in the seller's name, you put beautiful home in Miami, and you put in a couple data points. You really don't need the price because you haven't said it. You don't even, here I just put beautiful home and then add one photograph. Okay. If you find a photo on Zillow or something, great. Otherwise, drive in front of the house and just take a photo with your smartphone and upload it here. Because once you've done that, you will have a listing presentation created for that home in particular. So this one is listing presentation. Let's click on market listing. And up here, it says download. And this is the print listing presentation. And this is flipbook. So you really want to print one and have it maybe bound or ready to get to leave behind at the home. But you want this version up on your computer, right? On your laptop or your iPad sitting at the table. And you notice this photo in the front, that's the homeowner's house. And so as you're going through this listing presentation, you talk about paid ads on Facebook. There, you can say, this is what your house is going to look like on Instagram, right? You might want to read this a few times before you actually talk about it. You don't need to read every word of this, right? It says social media marketing. You don't have to tell them that Listings to Leads is doing it for you automatically. You don't have to tell them that Listings to Leads is making a virtual tour and putting it on YouTube for you automatically. It's just, this is what I bring to the table. And frankly, this is not many agents can do all this. Print tools, nearby homeowner letter, right? This is all part of our automated marketing system. We have email tools. We have tools for the homeowner. We create a virtual tour and single property websites. And we even have text sign writers, and we have mobile and QR code. This page right here, just so you know, is the closing page. This is what's closing it for every agent I've been talking to. Because you stop right here and say, hey, why don't you, homeowner, pull out your smartphone and take a picture of that QR code. You can do it right now while we're sitting here talking. That will pull up a link that they click on, and it pulls up their home right on their phone. And you can guess that has call to actions too, and that's going to be prompting for lead capture. So it really conveys your technology power, your marketing power, and just your lead capture power, right? You can carry on through this, but it's pretty much closed at that page, right? And it talks about, oh, I do open house, I do this and that, right? And so that's the nature of the listing presentation. You create it as a new ad, right? As a new listing. Yeah. And if a listing exists and I want to market it as a buyer's agent, can you run that through the process? Yeah. So there you would come here and you would grab a listing. And you drop in the zip code and the MLS ID, we pull in the listing, and then you can market it with all the ways that you can market. Now I have an open house here. So let's look at this real quick. Sometimes the open houses flow in from the MLS and sometimes they don't. So if they don't, just come here and click edit and click open house and add the open house date and time. Please start marketing your open house on Tuesday, not on Friday. Just so you know, like I just showed you how to run an ad. When you run the ad here, or when you run the ad in Facebook, if you did it in Facebook, which I do not advise, that Facebook has to look at the ad and approve it. Okay. And that can take sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 24 hours. And I was on a call last Friday with this lady who wanted to run an ad on an open house, and we got it launched, but it was Friday and the open house is on Saturday. That ad is not going to do a whole lot for her. Okay. Hopefully she'll get a few leads, but we have clients that run ads on open houses and they're getting dozens of leads. Okay. So I'm going to click on Facebook and Instagram here, and you see it says open in Danville, you don't want the address of the property in here. I noticed some agents like to put like, enjoy this beautiful home at 123 Main Street in their property description. So it's right there. And the average person will say, well, I'm just going to go type that in Zillow and go find out about this house. We're trying to capture leads for you, right? So we're not going to put the address in there. We're also not going to put the date and time. I would recommend open house in Danville this Saturday, right? Or this Sunday or whatever, right? Don't put the time. Make them click to give you their information to get the time. Now, here's something about Facebook ads. How do I activate the text feature? Oh, sorry. The AI text, everybody, it's under the leads tab over here. When you click on leads, there's a button at the top left in the white section. That's how you turn on the Facebook ad. If you are running Facebook ads, and I highly recommend you're using our AI text follow-up because these all come with name, email, and phone number. Now, you know here that you can put in Sunday, right? I do want to point something out. So let's all, take a moment to hear this one. Facebook, when they approve it, they set your lead cost, right? And on average, buyer leads from Facebook cost $3 each. You're using our system, they're going to have name, email, and phone number. But that's on average. Okay. That's across the US. I know in Florida, I speak to a lot of people in Florida, those leads for some reason are costing between $4 and $5 each. And so that's worth noting. Running an ad like this, you could expect 11 leads. You divide 3 into 35, you have 11 leads. Okay. If you're running a sold ad, like this home is sold and it affects your home value, it's going to say that affects your home value. Click here to get your free home value. Those leads cost $7 each. Okay. Not 3, but 7. If you run an ad on a what is your home worth landing page, right? What is your Orlando home worth? What is your Omaha home worth? What is your Seattle home worth? Those leads cost $15 each. So depending on the kind of thing you're doing, Facebook is going to set a lead cost, right? One more thing I want to say here. You see that this home is in Danville, so we automatically locate Danville, and they want a minimum 15-mile radius. That's Facebook's rules, not ours. If you're living in any of the southern states and maybe you are trying to sell homes, you might know that very often people are moving from New York City or from Chicago or New Jersey, other places, right? They have equity. They're tired of winter. They want to move down south. This is so easy to target your same listing. Actually, I mentioned a guy who used our listing presentation and won this canceled listing from a Sotheby's agent. And so right away we're running ads. Yeah, I'm showing him how to run ads. And he ran an ad, like it's north of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, I can't remember. But he ran an ad there and got a bunch of leads, right? And then we ran an ad in New York. I said, you better run an ad in New York because there's a big dynamic going on there. And he did. And just so you know, the leads from New York are responding to him way faster than the leads from Florida. Just different kind of opportunities. So it's worth doing that sort of thing. You don't want to market multiple cities in one ad. You want to run 2 different ads. So I've seen agents put 5 or 6 towns in there. That's not going to work at all. Remember, I was telling you there are 2 things that you want to know. And one of them is the listing presentation. The other is Facebook ads. The other, and this is almost the most important right now, it's open house marketing. So if you're looking for listings, our open house marketing actually will help you find homeowners. Well, obviously we know how to find buyers. This is number 1 way right here, right? But when it comes to finding, if you want more listings in that neighborhood, and somebody asked, what if I'm going to borrow a listing and run it myself? What if you're going to sit on somebody's open house? You're going to pull their listing into the account, and now you're going to have this nearby homeowner list. This is our number 1 tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. It is not our number 1 tool for getting the highest volume of leads, of seller leads. Okay. It's the highest quality leads. It's a piece of paper. Okay. And how do you use it in an open house? Notice it says I got an open house from 1 to 4. You print off 50 of these or 100 of these and you walk them in the neighborhood. A lot of homeowners are going to see this and it's going to say, hey, when that home's sold, that's going to affect your home value. Go here to go get your free home value. So take this piece of paper to your own computer and type this in. This is why I told you at the beginning of the call, make sure this looks like your area so you have more success with this. Okay. But this piece of paper does not generate 5 or 10 listing leads. They usually per 100, if you put out 100, maybe 2 or 3 high quality listing leads, maybe 1. We actually had a client in the mastermind group come in and say, you know what? I borrowed a listing to do the open house this weekend. I printed 50 of these, walked them, got my own listing from that piece of paper. That's going to tell the local homeowners that you have an open house. They should come check it out. If they're going to check it out, it's because they're thinking about selling probably, and they're thinking about the value of their home. We also have an e-flyer for your database. So if you have a bunch of leads in your CRM, you can actually copy this right here for your CRM, for follow-up boss. That link and that picture all drive to buyer leads. This link and this link all drive to get seller leads. So one flyer has multiple call to actions to get you both buyer and seller leads. Now, there's a couple of other things, and there's definitely open house calls you want to watch. There's a couple things that I want to point out. Remember I mentioned landing pages, and I said there's 80 of them and 40 for buyers and 40 for sellers. Some agents will actually print out a few of these, right? And they'll leave them on the kitchen table. And because you're branded on every page, your color, your logo, your headshot, all on every page, all your contact information. But other agents, especially in open houses, will go here to marketing tools and they will print off the flyer for this. And this is awesome because it's really going to set you apart as a marketing agent. Okay. So I'm going to click this again and I'm going to download this PDF guide. So there's 6 different views of this, but this one's kind of, I think, just, it's branded the nicest. It's going to have your colors in it. Give it a second to do its thing. So what our clients are doing who are actually following this, they are printing 4, 5, 6 of these. They're going and buying like an acrylic tabletop stand and they just put in this piece of paper and they put one in the laundry room. They put one in the office. They put one in a bedroom. So if you're standing in the kitchen talking to people, as they're walking through, they're going to see your name, your brand. And if they want to download that for free, they can with their smartphone. Ever since COVID, everybody knows what a QR code is. And they have to give you their contact information to download that. So it's like branding you throughout the open house. That's part of the open house thing. Another cool thing about open house is hidden over here in the media library. And I've talked about our listing presentation. We actually have a video version of the listing presentation right here. We have a long one, 5 minutes, and a short one for ads if you want to run ads on it. But if I go here, our clients are downloading this and putting it on their own YouTube channel. You can also find it on our YouTube channel. But the point is, get the home. If the home is furnished and there's a smart TV, those big panel TVs, point it on YouTube to this channel, to this video. There's actually music. I turned off the music and you may not want the music. You might have your own music, right? But this tells everything that you do to sell a home. And this makes you look like you really know what you're doing, right? It doesn't say listings to leads is doing this. It says this is what you do. So if you can imagine that you've got your branded print flyers around the house and you've got this big, 80-inch TV running this commercial for you, it's showing people what you do. And you've done the nearby homeowner letter. You handed those to the neighbors. So the homeowners are coming into your house and realizing, wow, you are a serious marketing agent. This is why our clients are telling us right now, this is their number one way of getting more listings. I mentioned the call with Tamara that we did on Friday. You should go find that. She signed up as an office, right? I set up an office account for her. So she's using us for recruiting, but she's also in production. So she is using these tools and she's like, boy, I am doing your open houses. I am talking to more homeowners right now. than ever before, because our tools are designed to engage those people. So definitely those are the three things that I want you to understand for the end of this call. Open house marketing, you can find definitely calls on this. Scott does one, I think, every Monday on open house marketing. And there are recorded calls. If you find the call from Friday with Tamara, she talks about it. I think it's one of these. I can't remember. Oh, open house right here. Yeah. So this will be happening tomorrow. Sorry, open house. Yeah. And there's still agents that don't want to do open houses for whatever reason, right? I'm just telling you, our clients who are doing this are getting more listings. And by running the ads, they're getting buyers through. And often buyer leads are seller leads. This happens probably every week. There's somebody got a buyer lead and they actually need to sell a home. And you can read about it in the mastermind group. Agents talking about it all the time. So what have I missed on? We talked about social content. We talked about landing pages. Somebody did ask, I want to repeat it. You don't want to, you can post in multiple locations. Don't do it all at once. Do one ad in Huntington Beach, do one in Chicago, do a separate ad in New York. Don't put all three cities in there. That will not work well. And then can you update a YouTube video if you change your ad photos? Yeah, you'll have to delete the one. So if it's on our channel, just email support and say, please delete that video. And then you can upload new photos and auto click a button. We'll go back to YouTube. So this is my landing page section. And you do get a number of landing pages, free home value, down payment assistance, new construction. We're going to auto post these to your socials every month. You also get these kind of iBuyer but I also create multiple home value pages called Property Valuation Plus. You can build these down to the neighborhood. Okay. Now you can't target on Facebook down to the neighborhood, but you can get print tools for these and you can get email tools and you can run ads. But it's difficult by default to target in Facebook, but there is a workaround. That's why you want to join my call top tools for more listings and Facebook and Google, because I talk about how to make this work for smaller farm markets. But you can create any landing page up at the top by clicking create landing page, and you will see that we have plenty of templates. We have landing pages for FSBOs, for expires. We have them for avoid foreclosure and all kinds of homes sold near you, stuff like that. I think our clients are really leveraging the FSBO expired ones and also Property Valuation Plus, which is instant home value. Whatever landing page you create, whenever you click marketing tools, you are going to see that you can run ads on it on Facebook. You can run ads on it on Google. You can share it for free as an e-flyer in your CRM and your database. We have print tools as well and postcards. I have a lot of clients who will print these out at Vistaprint or at Amazon, the door hangers, and they're just hanging it on the door and walking because right on the flyer, they can scan for a free home value there. So often people will go and hang these on the door. By the time they get home, they've got listing links. There's also prospecting letter if you want to mail a letter, which is also smart. And there's even a QR code. There's a lady out there. She's an active agent and coach. I think her name is Amanda. It's like Elmhurst or something. And she's a coach and she's telling people one thing, go create your landing page, go get this QR code and put it on everything that you print, whatever you do. And always say, scan here for your free home. Because this lady's been doing this for years and now she just keeps getting home values from this, right? Which is a strategy. It's one of many strategies that you can apply here. Any questions? Can I add my picture or contact info at the end of the video? No, you can't, Conwell. I know the answer is no, but usually it's going to say, especially on YouTube, it is presented by you. And so that's where it's at. There, just so you know, for all of you, YouTube does not generate a lot of leads from virtual tours like this. Running an ad would get you a lead, but that's a whole different ball of wax. I will point out, we talked about in the beginning that we can import your reviews. And when you import your reviews, we start to embed them in single property websites and virtual tours. And you can import them from Zillow, Facebook, and Testimonial Tree. Soon we'll be adding Facebook. But then we give you a website, and you should actually use this website to go get yourself more business, because all of your reviews are right here. And just like everything else, call to actions all over the place. You want to download my listing presentation? Right on. Give me your contact info. You want to download one of my PDF guides? Sure. What's your contact info? So this thing has a lot here, including all of your listings. Whatever listings in your account is going to be sitting right here. If somebody clicks on here, they're going to be dropped on a single property website, which you guessed it, captures leads, right? So this tool, when you have your reviews on it, take the link up here, go over to Facebook and say, hey, tag your client and say, thank you for that review, and tag your client. Because now all your clients, friends, and family and colleagues are going to see that. And that's really valuable for you, because one of those people are interested in real estate, and you can say, oh, my friend or my cousin or my sister wrote a review about you. They know you're their agent. And if they're curious, they can click, and now you know they're going to land on this page, which is all loaded with lead capture for you. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of it. There are a lot of other fun things. I do want to mention one thing. We are going to be launching a really great improvement to the system. These two tabs here, follow-ups and leads, are going to be combined into one tab called pipeline. And as you can probably guess by now from listening to me yammer on for nearly an hour, there's a lot of ways to capture leads. I don't think there's another company that has so many ways of capturing leads, whether they're free, from print, from email, from social media, or from paid ads. Just no company is even close to us. And we're proud to say that and excited to say that. But we are going to be even happier when we can help you, our clients, convert those leads into business. And that's why those two tabs are going to be combined into a section called Pipeline that is going to help you. It's going to be like a CRM to help you log and convert and reach out to those leads. We're going to give you filter your hot 10 buyers, hot 10 sellers, so that you can activate and keep on those leads and turn them into transactions. That's coming up. Hopefully that will be done. We'll be working on that this fall. I think that's the end of my story, everybody. Are there questions about what we're doing, or any question if I haven't even mentioned it? Don't forget to spend some time on this. And I'm going to finish with a story here of why you should invest. We've been doing this, like I said, for 16 years. And one of the valid criticisms is it's overwhelming. I don't know where to start. And it's a double-edged sword for Scott and I, because we want to have value for our clients, things that they can use that we know they need. But the more you add, the more you have to learn, and that gets difficult. And I'm going to give you one story of why you want to learn that. This guy, Dustin. So I sold a company 10 years ago called Pearson Smith, just south of Washington, D.C. They had 300 agents in those days. And when I do rollout calls for offices, I don't talk to every agent. Right? But this agent came in the mastermind group. He said, hey, everybody, this is our highest ROI. We took the nearby homeowner letter, which I pointed out to. We mailed it to 250 homes, put in a little one-page calendar. He said, I even made this little review page in my Zillow reviews from Canva, and I mailed it to 250 homes. I mailed it for class. It cost me $625, but I got 10 listings with an average commission of $17,000. That's their highest ROI. Right. Now, we had never heard of Dustin, but he became very vocal in the mastermind group for the next year or two. And we got him on a call. And I think in the following year, he said, hey, yeah, I want to do this call because I'm a rookie. I've been in the industry for 2 years. My business has tripled. It went 5 to 20 million GCI. And he said, in 2 years, it tripled. And 80% of my business is coming from your tools. We were very excited to hear. I was blown away. I said, how much time every week do you put in this deal? He says 2 hours a day. I put my daughter in ballet, and then I go next door to Starbucks and I work in your system. This is the beginning of 2024. He's now written his own book on real estate marketing. And yes, there is a section on listings to leads. And he's gone off and done his own. Now, when he started, he was a brand new agent. Now he has a team of 24 agents underneath him, and he is the top producing agent in the office. He keeps growing, and our clients keep growing. A lot of people will not invest the time to understand what they have available to them. But I can tell you, if you do and you don't, and you kind of wander off, you will find, if you stay in the industry, there is no company that's even close to what we're doing. So take some time and learn what this is all about. Where can I print my QR code? Anywhere that there is something in print. Okay, Conwell. So it could be a nearby homeowner letter. It could be a postcard. If it's in print, it's going to have a QR code. When you look at PDF guides, there are lots of ways to get that PDF guide out, all 80. The print versions all have QR codes. Okay, so go look for what you're looking for, click on print, and you will see a QR code. If it's a landing page, like what is my home worth, click on marketing tools. There's going to be a print, and there's going to be a QR code there, right? I click on marketing tools. Where's a QR code? Right here. Where's a QR? Where was the intro to buyer seller presentation? That is on the listing if we go to listings here, there is a listing presentation tab here, and that's a generic one in print and in Flipbook. This is like not related to a property, but you can create one here manually, and that's going to create that dedicated one for a particular homeowner. You're welcome. How do I get us signed up? Oh, I answered that one. Stacy, you said which two, but I don't know what that means. Which two? Any other questions, everybody? Can you update? Yeah, we answered that one. Any other questions for everybody? I am going to take us. I didn't normally I go down the seller page. I do a class on top tools for more listings, and we spend a lot of time on this page on the dashboard. Just for conversation's sake, if you need listings, you can run ads on Facebook and on Google for listings. Okay. Now, I do have a whole class on this. You can market your sold and pending and under contract listings to get more listings. All the call to actions are going to say something like, this home is going to close. It affects your home value. Click here for your home value. So same listing that you got buyers, you can get sellers. You also have landing pages for sellers. So you can market those in the ways I've been mentioning. And of course, you have the PDF guides, and there's 80. So the seller landing page on the dashboard is just designed to give everything you need to get more listings right here. And once you get those listings, you go get that listing presentation, you customize it to that, and you get going. Is Google better than Facebook? You know what? For sellers, yes, that is true. Higher intent leads, even for, I would say for sellers. We don't really recommend using Google to get buyer leads. We highly recommend using Facebook for that. It's really effective and really cheap. Facebook is the number 3 website in the country. It does boast that they can keep people on there 40 minutes a day. Google is the number 1 website. And the key about that is 86% of all questions happen on Google. Okay. So if I need, where can I get a good steak in New York? I don't go to Facebook and ask that. I go to Google. If I need a hotel in Cancun, I go here. If I need to find out what's my commission when I sell my home or what I got to think about, I'm going to ask those questions 80%, 86% of the time on this website. Higher intent, right? How do we see Facebook ad results? You'd actually see them on your ads page. And this is true for Google as well. So when you run the ad, we actually put the result there. We'll be there in just a second. These are the results. So you can see your CPL, which is cost per lead. You can see your number of leads. You can also see these eyeballs mean how many people saw it. Okay. And that's true for Facebook or for Google. Just so you know, this is a demo account. So I don't actually have a lot of live ads here. So you can't see like real results. But if you spend $50 on a buyer ad, you're going to get about 15 plus or minus leads, and probably 3,000 to 4,000 people will see that. That's great, right? So yes, Google, those leads will cost you more, but I definitely recommend using Google when you want seller leads. And that would be running a home valuation landing page or any of the 40 PDF guides that you have for homeowners. Those all work. Okay. I got 13 leads off my last Facebook ad. That's awesome. Text those leads, Sonia. Yeah, text them until they're ready to talk. And then if they don't respond in a couple of days, call them. That's one of the fastest. There are 3 major ways of converting leads: email, phone calls, and text. And if you go do the research, you will find that text is the best. Using our AI is super smart, especially if you are following our recommendation, which is running 2 to 3 ads every week. You're going to have too many leads to text real quick. Okay. Any other questions? I appreciate you guys being here today. I know everybody's busy. It's Monday. I'll let you get out of here. If you have questions, don't forget we have an awesome support team down here. Join us in the mastermind group. Let us know what's working for you. And if you have questions, you can even ask there. Sometimes it doesn't work. Oh, how do we start if we don't have any listings? That's a good question. I would go to our dashboard. If you want to do the setup, just like I said, the first thing I would recommend, honestly, is borrowing listings from your office. Okay. And borrowing a listing, if you want buyer leads, borrow the kind of listing in the neighborhood that you want and run an ad on Facebook. We create a lot of tools on that, and some of them are free tools. So you can share those all over the place. Running an ad is going to get you a lot of name, email, and phone numbers, but also get the nearby homeowner letter from that listing and go walk the neighborhood with it. That's just time, and that can help you get more listings, right? Also, if you are, another reason to borrow a listing is, let's say, Georgina, that you want to market one area, right? Like one town, but you don't have listings there. You could borrow the listing in that area, and that's going to give you a lot of tools, both free and paid, that will get you listings in that particular area. So that's true whether you don't have any listings in your stuff. That's the first thing I would do. Don't forget, you got 80 PDF guides, and there's a landing page for each one of those that you can share for free on social media, right? So maybe it's down payer assistance. Let's just click on marketing tools. What can I do there? And there are paid ads. You don't have to do that. You can do a view here. So this is the landing page that you can just go off and share, right? You can just share it, and wherever people are, put it on Facebook, put it on LinkedIn, put it on Nextdoor. I don't know, like wherever you feel like you want to share things that you have a network. I have our own listing presentation flipbook with our own branding. Can we upload and use in Facebook advertising? Not the flipbook version, but Susan, when you are running an ad in Facebook, you can upload. You see here, we're actually about to run an ad on a PDF guide. And you see here, you can say, hey, I want to change this and upload a video. You can't upload flipbook here, but you can upload a video here. So more along those lines, Susan, is if we go to, let me close this. If we go over to listings, and then we go over to listing presentation, there's actually a space there to run an ad right here, Facebook ads, for our listing presentation, right? And you could use our video, but you can say, no, I have my own. And you can change even the text. You can click in the text, but you can upload the video right here on the top left, and that would replace our video, which is here, that shorter 1-minute version. And you could also, this text here is our stuff, but you can change all this. You can just edit it right there. So that can work for you. Any other questions? Happy to answer them. If not, I appreciate you being here. Let us know if you have questions on any of this. You can reach out to me. I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. If you need a team account, I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. My contact information is on the website. Let us know how we can help you. Again, please invest some time in leveraging what's going on. And do not forget, our listing presentation, our open house marketing, and our Facebook ad is what are killing it for our clients right now. It's not the easiest market out there. I'm sure you're aware of that. That's why I keep repeating what I'm telling you, because these things are working for our clients right now in this market. Okay. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Oh, where is our training calendar? Oh, that's a good question. It's on the marketing calendar here. It's the top left. And there is a kind of a daily activity calendar here, but under resources on the marketing calendar, this is where you sign up for live webinars. And this is where you watch on YouTube the recorded webinars. Okay. Everybody, have a great day. Thanks again.